Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. Today we're going to talk about Bitcoin and look to see its current move, but we're going to discuss it through the lens of altcoins and Ethereum. So if you guys like the content, please subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and also check out the Telegram channel, which you can find a link to in the description below. Let's go ahead and jump in. So we've seen these types of moves before with Bitcoin. We've seen these moves quite frequently where Bitcoin goes on a nice and impressive run. Okay, we've seen it a lot. And we know that when this happens, following this move is when altcoins can rally, even after a correction. So let me show you what I mean. So back in 2017, the end of 2017, we know that Bitcoin peaked in mid-December. And following this peak, it came down, right? It came down over the next several months. However, one of the things that we need to remember is that during this period, so after the retracement and then subsequent sideways movement by Bitcoin at prices ranging from 17,000 down to 14,000 or so. So it was during this range. This actually was a nice catalyst for altcoins. And it might seem somewhat counterintuitive when Bitcoin has retraced to then think that altcoins could make a move because we would gauge Bitcoin as our indicator for the health of the market. But it's also easy for us as humans to sometimes lose track of what has actually happened. And what's happened is Bitcoin has rallied for 2 months. Okay? And in those 2 months, a lot of other coins have bled against Bitcoin. The main coins that we talk about on this channel are Bitcoin, Ethereum, Link, and ADA. We also talk about Polkadot a little bit, but there's just not a whole lot of data to talk about because it hasn't been around very long. So we mainly talk about Bitcoin, Ethereum, Link, and ADA, Bella for short. And we like to look at the moves of Bitcoin through the lens of these coins. So what has happened over the last 2 months that could catalyze these coins to move if Bitcoin holds the $17,000 level? Okay, we're not saying that Bitcoin will hold the $17,000 level. We're just simply saying if it were to hold this level, meaning if it just simply were to go sideways at this point for a couple weeks, what might we expect to see in other parts of the market? Okay, so this is what we're talking about. So if you take a look at the three coins we just mentioned, Ethereum has bled against Bitcoin for the last several months. Okay, essentially since August, it has bled against Bitcoin. Link has been bleeding against Bitcoin since August as well. Okay, and the reason why they initially bled against Bitcoin was because Bitcoin came down in late August, August 31st. You can see that's where the move began for Bitcoin. This capitulation down to the 20-week moving average, which is our bull market support for Bitcoin. That's where the bulls need to hold the line. That move down to the 20-week and that high volatility of Bitcoin causes people to lose confidence completely in the short term in altcoins. That's what happens. And then when Bitcoin tests the 20-week moving average as support, people also are not confident in other coins because whether Bitcoin goes up or Bitcoin goes down, altcoins will most likely bleed against Bitcoin because Bitcoin volatility is not the friend to an altcoin. Okay, altcoins do not want Bitcoin to be volatile for them to be outperforming Bitcoin. They want Bitcoin to be doing much, basically nothing, moving sideways at a bullish level. And we have to remember how far Bitcoin has come in such a short period of time. So because of how quick this move was to 20K, 19.5, what's a few $100s among friends, right? We went to 19.5. And now with this retracement, which we did put out a warning video about a potential upcoming retracement. I didn't know that it was necessarily going to come that quickly, but it ended up being a timely video, and hopefully some people were able to use that to kind of help better whatever their positions were. So Bitcoin from the local top has retraced at this point approximately 12% or so. So it's approximately 12% down. This is nothing major. We have not gone to, say, the 20-week moving average. Now, if we were to go to the 20-week moving average in the immediate short term, altcoins would bleed most likely against Bitcoin. That's just a simple fact that they would bleed against Bitcoin if Bitcoin were to test the 20-week. And of course, there's going to be some altcoins that are the exception to the rule, but for the most part, most altcoins would bleed against Bitcoin if Bitcoin were to go back to the 20-week moving average. However, if Bitcoin can simply go sideways, we're not asking much of Bitcoin. We're saying don't go up, don't go down, just hold this line, right? This isn't even that important of a line in terms of the integrity of the bull market. But if you can just fluctuate here, and what this would do, by the way, if it calms down and starts moving sideways, then the bulls that were riding this Bitcoin wave are then going to think, okay, maybe this short-term move is over, and then start speculating on other coins, whether it be Ethereum or whether it might be, some altcoins. Okay, and if you look again, you look at Ethereum, it is bled against Bitcoin. Okay, and we know that Ethereum goes through these phases where it bleeds against Bitcoin, but then it typically rebounds back up, especially if we're in a bull market. You can see there's been several times in the past where Ethereum bleeds against Bitcoin, and then all of a sudden the bleeding stops and it goes up, and it's a completely new game. And we've seen this several times, right? Bleeds and then a recovery, a bleed and then a recovery. And then during the bear market, even with the bear market, we had bleeds and recoveries. It's just that it was macro down. Whereas in a bull market, it's macro up, bear market, macro down. We are theorizing that this could be the start of a multi-year bull market. And if it is, then hopefully we're macro up. Now, even if we are going macro up, it doesn't mean that we're just going to go up like this forever, right? I mean, we could very easily have, something like this. Maybe it goes into a bubble and then comes back down. Obviously, I don't really think it would go that high by any means, but at some point during the bull market, we probably will go sideways before continuing up, or we'll go up and have a bubble and then come back down and then maybe do something like that and then continue up later. So we have to recognize that this is a possibility. But what I want people to recognize is that Bitcoin at the present time it would have to drop 25%, 27%, 28%, somewhere in that ballpark to get back to the 20-week moving average. So it's far enough away from the 20-week moving average that if it could just simply go sideways here, I think that the chances that altcoins could rally at this level, not against USD. Yes, they would rally against USD, but we don't care about that. We care about they could rally against Bitcoin. And you might say, well, why does it matter if they rally against Bitcoin? I just want to think of things in terms of USD. We say here we're better than that, because if the goal is just to make USD, then you'd have a hard time justifying holding altcoins over the last few months. But because we expect higher returns, we expect to see a higher return in USD, and the best way to measure that is to measure the valuation against Bitcoin. Because if they can't outperform Bitcoin, then it does not justify holding them in the first place, because Bitcoin's already giving great returns. Therefore, if Bitcoin can give you great returns that exceed that of the altcoins, what's the purpose of holding the altcoins? Yeah, you can tell me you're here for the tech, but I don't believe you for the most part. I think most people are here to make money, and that's what this channel is about. So if you look at Ethereum and Bitcoin, at the Ethereum valuation against Bitcoin, it's been going down. Bitcoin is super bullish, and if Bitcoin can go sideways here, then we might see a really the catalyst for Ethereum to really start to gain back on Bitcoin, because the Bitcoin bulls will think this short-term move might be over. Now, if you look at Link, you can see a similar thing, right? It's also been bleeding against Bitcoin, and we've seen bleeds like this against Bitcoin in the past, right? We've seen these Link Bitcoin bleeds, right? This is par for the course. But ultimately speaking, Bitcoin, Link has continued up against Bitcoin. One thing I heard someone say, or I saw a comment on the channel, was, why would Link go up if Bitcoin is going down? And they alluded to the fact that, well, Bitcoin went down yesterday and Link also went down. But we don't look at things on a day-to-day time frame because that's a completely irrational way to look at things. Short-term moves are a random walk. We cannot in any way accurately predict them, so we shouldn't even pretend that we can. But we can look at macro trends and recognize that if Bitcoin can hold this level, and I don't know if it will, but if it can, then we might very well see these altcoins start to rally in the not so distant future, and then the narrative will shift again from everyone saying, Bitcoin's the only one to hold, and then we might get into altcoin season, and then everyone will say, well, why hold Bitcoin? And then at some point the altcoin season bubble will pop, and then people will flock to stable coins and or Bitcoin, and then the cycle repeats, right? It's just the cycle flip-flops constantly. It's Bitcoin for a while, and then it's altcoins for a while, and then it's Bitcoin for a while, and then it's altcoins for a while. So the purpose of this channel is just to identify these major trends. And by the way, we talked a lot about this on this channel, and especially on the premium list, that this was the time to accumulate Bitcoin all the way up to a few $1,000s higher. This was the time to accumulate Bitcoin. And once it got above this, it was to let it ride and then take profits along the way. I did take profits at 18.9 into stable coins. Okay, so I did take profits at 18.9. It was published on the premium list. We are having a Black Friday sale. Check it out in the description below. You get access to the weekly reports, the weekly videos, the Telegram alerts channel, the Telegram chat room, the TradingView indicators, and the risk dashboard. So you get access to a whole lot of things, and we try to navigate the markets by only looking at a few coins and really learning the trends of these coins. Okay, so Bitcoin could easily drop from here. And if it does, we would expect Ethereum to drop against Bitcoin. We would expect Link to probably drop against Bitcoin, and we would probably expect ADA to drop against Bitcoin as well. Okay, we would expect all of those. They would also likely drop against USD. Now, again, if you look at the ADA Bitcoin ratio, it has also been bleeding this one's been bleeding since July. So all of these coins are significantly down against Bitcoin. And if we take measured moves for each one of them, from the top of the wick to where ADA currently is, it's down almost 50% against Bitcoin from the altcoin bubble this summer. Ethereum, from the top of the wick to where it currently is down 24%. And Link, from the top to where it currently is down around 55%. And by the way, we followed this Link bubble every step of the way and took profits, right? We took profits basically almost at the top. So the thing we want to do now is just simply recognize that all of these coins are down significantly against Bitcoin, right? All these coins are down significantly against Bitcoin. Well, not all of them. I'm sure there's some that you have your pet projects and maybe they're up. But for the most part, most of the altcoin market is down against Bitcoin. And we're at that stage of the cycle where Bitcoin rallies, Bitcoin corrects. However, up to this point, the correction has not been that bad. And because it has not been that bad, it does give us a possibility that altcoins could rally against USD, but more importantly, they could rally against Bitcoin. And that's what we want to see. We don't care about the USD valuation that much. It's can they rally against Bitcoin? And if they can, that justifies holding them. If they never rally against Bitcoin, then why the hell do we hold them? So that's the argument anyways. So we're going to keep a close eye on this. We're going to be making a lot of videos over the next few months, especially about Ethereum, ADA, and Link. So keep an eye out for those. If you guys are into those coins, we've been following Link since it was a couple of dollars. We've been following ADA since it was 2 cents. We've been following Ethereum, during times when it was $100. So these are all coins that we continue to follow. We anticipate will go up throughout the market cycle, but their valuation increases against Bitcoin will come in waves. And I think that if Bitcoin can hold this level without getting too bullish itself, right, then we're getting primed. The catalyst is being set for these altcoins to make a move. Now, the things that would negate this, of course, would be if Bitcoin comes back and then just basically kicks the bucket down to the 20-week moving average, then all this is out the window. Okay, it's simply out the window. The other thing that would negate it is if Bitcoin rallies. And if Bitcoin rallies, then some people might be excited because it means that their altcoins are going up in USD, but we don't care about that because, again, they're likely bleeding against Bitcoin. So whether Bitcoin goes down or up, altcoins would not do that well. However, a sideways movement, altcoin paradise. So this is what we're going to keep an eye out for. I know this video is a little bit long-winded, but I want people to really understand where we are in the phase of, say, like a sub-cycle within the grand scheme of a Bitcoin market cycle, and recognize that if Bitcoin holds this level, then altcoins could have a really good December. So if you guys like the content, please subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up. Also, check out the Telegram channel in the description below. Make sure you subscribe. I appreciate you guys getting me to 60,000 subs. Now let's go to 70,000. Just keep on climbing the ladder there. And then remember, we do have the Black Friday sale if you guys are interested in the content that come along with that, and you can lock in the lower rate. It'll stay open for about 8 days, 8 more days, so you can lock in the lower rate perpetually as long as you do not cancel. So that'll wrap it up for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.